Well, I'm going to explain now how to make photopolymer plates for letterpress printmaking without using expensive equipment. That golden coloured sheet there at the bottom there, that's the polymer plate, and that other thing there was the negative, which I'll show you how to make. This is the vacuum table, which I made myself. There's the little holes in it everywhere, and it's got this adhesive-backed foam tape around there, which seals the acetate. Now that acetate seals the job, and it's also support there for the negative. And this is the negative we're using there, Pictorico OHP material. There's also photocoil 7700, same thing. That's a Stufa gauge there, which is a stepped exposure tablet, which shows you the correct exposure there for the washout of the plate. Now this here is a blacklight bank that I made up myself. You get an electrician to do it if you want. Those are simply blacklight tubes like they use in aquariums, all wired up in parallel. It's an old darkroom timer to help you get accurate exposure there. Now we look at making the negative. You can get that into the Photoshop there. Have you scan something or draw it, whatever, get it into Photoshop. You can easily turn it into a negative just like that. I've printed two of them here because I found that I had to sandwich the two together to get enough density. Since I changed this Epsom printer, I've managed to do it in one there. The Epsom seems to have a better ink there that builds up a better density on that OHP premium material. Anyway, I'll print this out. There it is. Come out now, two. I'll just join them together and register on the light box. And that'll give us enough density there to block the UV. This is how it all works in the darkroom. We have the acetate there with the negative attached and the Stufa gauge to determine the correct exposure. So we turn that over, emulsion down, and this shows you what we do in the darkroom. We slip the plate underneath there and stick it down so you get the exposure. And, once you've got that assembled in the darkroom, we'll lock that down, and then we'll attach the vacuum pump onto this little spigot there and suck the air out of the whole thing, and it'll end up being pretty flat. There's a vacuum pump I bought from a second-hand laboratory place. It's an old machine there, you see there, it pulls enough. I think you get half a ton per square foot if you don't have too many leaks. Now we're ready to go. We've got the yellow bug light on. You can handle this photopolymer material for quite a while there under yellow light. It won't fog. Oh, we've selected a sheet now. It's got a bit of foam protection in there so you don't damage the plate. Put it away now so we don't risk fogging the plates. Throw away that sheet of foam protection. And also the plate comes with a sheet of sort of some transparent protective, maybe a UV screen thing over it. We peel that off. Now lift up the frame. Lift up the acetate, and we'll put that plate underneath. Emulsion to emulsion, that's important, otherwise you won't get a sharp result. Make sure that plate's in there so that the Stufa gauge and the negative are centered on that plate. That's seemed pretty good. The acetate is touching all the tape around the sides. Pull the frame down and lock it in place. We've got the vacuum pump running. Connect that up now. That's starting to pull down. Yeah, look at that. I made this thing myself. It leaks all over the place. Got nothing like half a ton, but it's still enough. That's pulling that down flat so the light won't sneak around the edge of that negative and give you an unsharp result. Now we set that up for exposure now. I set that mark on the side of the sink. That's 500 millimeters from the bank. I use that distance there because I figured the light rays would be travelling straighter, so we get a sharper result. Now, at that distance, it was 17 minutes will give us the correct washout stage on that Stufa gauge. There it is, it's being exposed. And click, the 17 minutes are up, so flop it back down, take the vacuum pump off. Now we're going to open this up. Now it's stuck a little bit there, but not too bad. And we'll find that there's a latent image there. You can clearly see the exposed plate. Even without washing it and developing it, you can see that we've got a result there. I'll put this away now because I don't want to risk splashing water on it or damaging it or fogging it in some way while we get ready to do our washout. I get rid of the vacuum table now so we can have our sink back. And now we need water here at 30 degrees Celsius, so we got that ready. We've got the hot warm water running. Now instead of an expensive plate making machine, we're just going to use a shoe brush. So we've got the plate there under that water. That's exactly what the plate making machine does, except upside down. You have these bristles running there and there's better hot water, and you lay the plate upside down and that causes the unexposed polymer to fall out, gravity. So maybe we'll try doing that ourselves. So this is the way it works in a machine. A little bit awkward here by hand, but we'll give it a go. That's what the plate making machine does, something like that. Yeah, I think that's a bit too high. We'll go back up the other way and scrub away with our shoe brush. I set the timer for 4 minutes. It's all supposed to happen in something about between 2 and 4 minutes. So we'll have a look. Look at that. It's coming up pretty nicely. There's still a little bit of scummy stuff there, though, in the shadow areas or the no image areas. So we want to get rid of that as much as we can. So I'm using just a piece of foam there. We'll be fairly careful. We don't want to damage the thing. It's fairly soft. We're just wiping that scummy area. See the Stufa step there? That's washed out at level 16 or step 16. That's what they recommend. Now we're drying the thing. Our plate's being dried. Now we're going to expose it in the sun. Now you could use the UV tubes here, but we're fairly green. Might as well use the sun. So we'll take it out there and won't waste electricity. We'll leave that out for 10 minutes or so it hardens up under the UV. This is a steel magnetic base there, and you see the polymer plate sticks down, and once that's stuck down on top of the base, it's type I, 0.918 of an inch. Getting ready with some rubber-based ink now for letterpress printmaking, mixing up sort of an acid green. Over here to our Gordon plate and press. This is a foot-operated, a treadle machine with a flywheel on the side there. Most satisfactory bit of equipment, about 100 years old, and we got it for nothing. Putting the ink on there, less is more in this business. You don't need a lot. You got too much on there and you make a real mess. Wish you could hear this machine. Very satisfying rumble. Very nice, satisfying tone. Here we are. We've got the plate in our chase, locking it up. We're about to do a test print. This is just a sheet of bond paper. We'll put that in and see what sort of result we get. Not bad at all, look at that. Okay, now we've got a stack there of cotton fibre, Fabriano paper, the expensive stuff. This is going to be a two-coloured job, so this is actually the background, that acid green pattern there. We'll run this through again later with another image on top of that, but that's letterpress printmaking, and you can see you do it yourself fairly inexpensively. You can make plates yourself in the sink. A very versatile process. Thank you very much.